Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. I was going to do a stream, but unfortunately YouTube doesn't seem to want to let me stream today for whatever reason. The live light just doesn't light up. Well, hey ho. So what have we got today? Well, we're just doing a quick video before the temperature hits 30 degrees and melts everybody in the country. So there's a couple of things I've been doing recently. Well, a few things, but a couple of them were I fitted a DFO DF1 floppy drive selector on my Amiga 500, which you saw in a previous video. Well, hopefully, if you haven't, come on. And the next video, i.e. this one, we are going to be looking at the installation of and the use of a Kickstart Rom switcher. Now, I've never used one of these before. I never used one back in the day. Why didn't I use one back in the day? I think I changed from Kickstart 1.2 to Kickstart 1.3, and I was on the verge of moving to Kickstart 2 when I bought a CD32, so I never did. So anyway, I thought it'd be nice to have a little play with a piggybacked Kickstart switcher version 2, and this is, it says, version 2.6, and this is from, please forgive me if I say this wrong, but this is from, I'm going to say this wrong, Keirf, Keirf. So if I've said that wrong, I do apologise. So this is a piggyback Kickstart switcher. So what is it? Well, it's a ROM, or an EEPROM rather, between the different banks of the EEPROM. And what in effect that means is that by pressing Control Amiga, i.e. soft reset, but holding it, the Amiga can select between 8 Kickstart ROM images, which is pretty impressive, I thought. It has a little a PCB, not PCB, it has a little PC speaker in there, the ones that you find on modern motherboards, ATX motherboards. With two connectors coming off it, you know the type, the little barrel speaker. And it has a fly lead that connects to Paula. Well, it connects to a reset line, it doesn't have to be Paula, but Paula is what they show in the instructions, so that's what I've done. Pin 11, if you're interested. It also comes with two jumpers. The jumpers are, and to select whether you want it to remember the ROM selected when you power off and power back on. So, okay, what has it got? It says compatible with Amiga 500 version 6, A500, A500 Plus, and A600. Long reset C-A-A switches between 2 to 8 Amiga ROM images. Beep indicator indicates when the ROM is switched. Configurable delay. Option for last image recall on power cycle. Okay. If you receive this switcher in kit form, then you need to read the instructions for assembly. I didn't. I bought it straight from Keir via Facebook, so you can do a little search and find him. It does send you the kit in a little box with the fly lead and the speaker, and a little piece of paper telling you where to get the instructions from to set up it and how to install it, so on and so forth. So you can install it in an A500, any of the A2000 variants, and an A600. Presumably the CD-TV as well. What else ran a normal Kickstart ROM? That's about it, I think. And there we go. That's about it, really. I will put some pictures on there so you can see this wonderful machine working. And now we're going to have a little play through it. We're going to cycle through the Kickstart ROMs here so you can see what's going on. Now the first thing you can see, I'll reboot the Amiga now. You can see standard reboot, the floppy drive clicks once and we're into Amiga Workbench. The eagle-eyed amongst you may notice that there's something slightly off about this image, and that's because it is Kickstart 1.1, which is the PAL version of the Amiga A1000 ROM. I was interested, I did ask for this to be put on purposely A, because I can run it in my Amiga 1000, and B, I was interested to see if it would actually start on an Amiga 500 and see what it does. Now, no doubt when they developed the 500, they were using ROM images from the Amiga 1000, or the Amiga, as it was known in those days. So it, you know, it makes common sense that they developed 1.2 from 1.1, and 1.1 was on the 1000. So I just thought it'd see if it'd boot up. Obviously it does. I'm not sure if it'll run any software. Let me pop a disk in and see what it does. We'll put Workbench 1.2 in. See what it does. The floppy light's gone green. Oh, it's still loading. Doesn't seem too happy about it. Oh, there we go. Release 1.1. Workbench 1.2. Software failure. Now the image that you can see before you is going through composite, because for some reason my RGB SCART lead will not detect this Amiga 500. I don't know why. It makes no sense. It detects a 600. It also detects the 1000. It detects, well, everything except this Amiga. Or I'll rephrase that. Any Amiga 500. It doesn't seem to like. I don't know why. But anyway, so that is Workbench 1.1. As you can see, it says copyright 1985, Commodore Amiga, all rights reserved, release 1.1. Version 1.0 was, of course, the A1000 NTSC version. So now we'll press Control, Commodore key, and Amiga. We've had two bleeps on the speaker. I'm not sure if you heard that. Software error from before. And there we go, the more familiar Workbench 1.2. So if I pop a disk in, this will obviously boot. Actually, I've put the wrong disk in. I've put extras in. Not that it matters. Anyway, so there we go, release 1.2. So let's press Control, Commodore Amiga again. 3 bleeps. So this is ROM image 3. And there we go, ROM image 3 is Workbench 1.3. The tried and tested Workbench of quite a long spell, I think. The 1.3 was around for a long time. Now, there we go, so we're into the, whatever you want to call them, the new age ROMs, or the modern ROMs as far as it goes. We have Workbench 2, and this came with the Amiga 500 Plus. I think, or was it 204 that came with the Amiga 500 Plus? My memory fails me. No, I think it was 2 with the 500 Plus and 204 with the Amiga 600, wasn't it? Or something like that. So that's all well and good. So let's hit it again. Now we have 3.1, the ROM that basically everyone uses in this day and age on an Amiga, whether you're soft booting into 3.9 or 3.5, or even, well, even Amiga OS 4 still requires 3.1, because the ROM is obviously software on those machines, on those versions. So we'll reboot again. Okay, Amiga 3.x. This is a Cloento ROM from 2014, as you can see. It's basically 3.1. I'm not sure if it has any additional features. I shall have to check that. .1.4. So this is the latest legal ROM that you can buy for the Amiga. And this is, again, it's a Hyperion developed ROM from the makers of OS 4 and 4.1 and 3.9 as well. There is some contention, some legal issues surrounding this at the moment. Cloento having rights for some things and Hyperion having rights for something else. So hopefully they get it all sorted out and stop messing about. Life's too short. So this should be the final ROM, and this is, as you can see, a diagnostics ROM. Do not adjust your set. Diag-ROM version 1.1, 2018 by John Hurtle. Okay, so this will give you a breakdown of what your Amiga 500 is doing in garish colours because it's through composite. So we can see we have chip RAM, we have some slow RAM, we have a 68,000 CPU, no FPU and no MMU. Expansion ROM address, no, there's no ROM. Okay, and there are no buttons stuck at boot, which is jolly nice. So we could do a memory test, I suppose. What have we got? Experimental new memory test. I hope it don't test me. Let's do the chip RAM. Press any key to stop. Okay, so this is obviously, it's a diagnostic ROM. It's going to go through the Amiga and check various bits and bobs and let you know if everything's tickety-boo, which it should be. But we're not interested in that at the moment. We will come back to this at a later date. But this is the Kickstart Rom Selector. And it is superb. It is very cheaply priced. I think it costs about £20 delivered into the UK. So I can't recommend it enough. It's fantastic. If you don't have it, I would recommend buying it. If you're a Vampire user, arguably you don't need it. But for anyone who isn't, there is no reason why you wouldn't want to have selectable ROMs, really, unless you use a pretty good system which runs WHD load software, in which case not quite so important anymore. But this is a great bit of kit. I'd love it. It's very easy to install. I have nothing but good things to say about it. Superb. So let's do a reset again. One bleep, so we should be back to the beginning. And there we go. Amiga Workbench 1.1 on an Amiga 500. So there we go, kids. I hope you enjoy that video. Like I say, I'm streaming this, but not really, because my YouTube's being an arse and won't let me stream for whatever reason. So I'm going to just run this as though it's a stream, download it to my Mac, do a little bit of editing, slip some pictures in there, and hopefully it will all make sense. I have many more videos to do. I have a Vampire system for sale on eBay at the moment, which I hope to do some videos, but that might come tomorrow if I don't have time today, which is a bit of a poor show because I think the auction ends today. Let me just check. It does, it ends today, so that's a pointless exercise. Not that it matters. So, there you go. Thank you very much. Take it easy, and hopefully I'll see you next time.